Today I thought I'd make some chocolate chip cookies because they're popular and they're really easy to make. So I've got in my mixing bowl 100 grams of soft butter or margarine. If you've got using hard block butter, you might need to soften it or leave it out at room temperature just so that it's soft, because you want to be able to cream in or beat in the sugar. So 100 grams of butter, so you can see how nice and soft that is. And I'm going to put into this 50 grams of white sugar and 50 grams of soft brown sugar, which we've used before. And it's a bit like sand, it can be a bit lumpy, it's a soft brown sugar, but it gives a bit more of a chewy texture. If you haven't got soft brown sugar, just use 100 grams of white sugar. And really, caster sugar is the best one for this, but again, if you've only got granulated, which is the stuff you put in your cups of tea, and it's a bit more crunchy, it's fine. So what I'm doing now, this method is called creaming, and all I'm doing is beating those two ingredients together, the butter and the sugar. And you can use a wooden spoon or a spatula like I'm using, because believe it or not, I cannot find my wooden spoons. So, just beat that up, and if you have a look at that, it's creamy. Nothing to do with the substance cream, the food cream. The verb is to cream, and basically all you're doing is mixing in the two ingredients so they're not separate anymore, and it's light and creamy. And another characteristic of creaming is that the mixture goes lighter in colour. So margarine or butter, if you were making a cake, goes lighter in colour. Okay, so that's all mixed in, and all we do then is add our other ingredients. So put a teaspoon of vanilla in. Again, if you haven't got vanilla at home, don't worry about it. It just adds to the taste, but it's not essential. Tablespoon of golden syrup, and these are going to be like a soft, quite chewy, big cookie. So the syrup, the syrup is just going to make that a bit sticky, a bit chewy. So a tablespoon, and I'm using a dessert spoon, so I'm going to do quite a big one, just make it a little bit heaped. Okay, you could make this without syrup, and they'd just be a bit crunchier. Getting all sticky. So syrup goes in. Mix that in. And then the bit that makes it chocolate chip, chocolate, and I'm using white chocolate. So you need about up to 100 grams. A packet of chocolate chips is 100 grams, and this small bar of white chocolate is 100 grams. And you can use any old chocolate really. And with Easter coming up, you might have Easter egg chocolate, which is fine. Just snap it up and put it in. You can do a mixture, and just like with the muffins, you can do flavoured chocolate as well. And then I've got the flour. Now, to make it easier, if you put half the flour in or a third of the flour in at once and beat it in, you'll make sure you don't get covered in the flour dust. So just beat that in. And you'll see that the mixtures, the dough is quite soft. So that's 150, I don't think I mentioned, 150 grams of, and I'm using self-raising flour. So the basic ingredients, you can experiment with them and change them and see whether you like them. So if you've only got plain flour, that's fine, but it won't puff up as much in the oven because it hasn't got a raising agent, so you get a crispier biscuit. Self-raising has got baking powder in it, that's the only difference, so it will rise in the oven and you get a more chewy and a softer biscuit. So sometimes it's just trial and error trying these things to see what you prefer. And also, if you've not got things in your cupboard, that's how new recipes are invented. Just got to remember what you put in, what you haven't put in. Okay, so you can see, I'll tidy up a bit, that the dough, the biscuit dough, is quite soft, but you could, if you wanted, use your hands to shape them. So I know when I've done this with pupils at school, we've we've shaped them, they prefer to do them with the hands. If yours is a little bit sticky, your mixture, with a little bit of flour, sometimes even wetting your hands can stop things from sticking. Or you can use a spoon, so 2 spoons usually. Try and get your cookies the same size, and that's why often people like rolling it, because they can actually see what size they are. They will spread out in the oven, so just use your spoons as a kind of estimate really. Leave some space between them. You can always cook them in batches as well, so if you've only got 1 baking tray, you can cook 3 or 4 and see how big they go, because they only take 10 minutes to cook, and then change the size of them. And I'm estimating I usually leave about 2 fingers space between each cookie, just to give you an idea, and they're going to be quite big ones. Squash those down, and if you're getting all gooey, it's part of the fun of it really, but you can wash your hands if you don't like the feel of it and use spoons instead. So I'm just spreading those out on the tray. I might do them at angles like that. And I've got baking parchment, but you might want to just grease a baking tray. You can give it a bit of a squash down if you want, but you just kind of just estimate how big the cookie's going to spread. And then even if they do stick together a little bit, it's not the end of the world. So I've made here 6, and I reckon I've got another 3 in there. So I'm going to pop those in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. The bigger they are, slightly longer, but we'll see when they come out, they will spread, they'll go golden brown, but they will be very soft still until they cool down, and then they get a bit harder. Okay, the cookies have been in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes at 160 degrees or gas mark 4, and when they come out you'll see they're still quite soft, but as soon as you've left them out of the oven for about 2 or 3 minutes, you'll see the difference. Okay, and then you can pick them up. So obviously don't touch them, they're too hot anyway, but just don't overcook them, don't overbake them, because then you don't get a nice soft cookie. And those are still warm, but you can see how soft they will be. Okay, if you don't want to put chocolate chips in, you could put sprinkles in, you could put dried cranberries or fruit in, and of course you could make double choc chip by substituting a spoonful of flour for a spoonful of cocoa powder. So I'll put the recipe on the screen as usual. Okay, well I hope you have a lovely Easter and keep safe.